Hey, hey everyone. I wanted to talk today about honoring your anger. On this journey in life, it's very funny. As a warrior, I've always been okay with my anger because my anger was always a huge sign to me that someone was like trying to take away my power or trying to dehumanize me or try to make me feel lesser. In any way, shape, or form, it was trying to take me away from my truth. So when I was younger, I used to fight all the time because that warrior spirit was so strong, not the compassionate, not the higher elevated consciousness. And it was funny because for me, I never minded it. Like other people were like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'd be like, whatever, shoot, you shouldn't have done X, X, and X. You do it again, watch what happens, see? And it's funny. And so it's funny. So now I'm a little older, a little wiser, especially on the spiritual journey, especially in the journey of the divine feminine that I've been taking over the last couple of years, really being introduced to it with my spirit guides and the goddesses that stepped forward, Oshun that stepped forward, just so I can get in touch, because that's where I'm at. Like, you have to get to this point where you honor and balance that. I've gotten the message for the last 2 years, but I wanted to say a little story about why I don't want to be surrounded in anger, but another way to look at anger in a way that helps your own self-evolution. And so I was, so I'm just going to be real honest about it. So I'm dating different guys. One of the guys are like my ex-husband, who is very much in his feminine more than masculine. And so, and me definitely getting into my feminine, it's a little bit more a part of me. But on one hand, this guy I'm dating, it's very comfortable, right? Because I married this energy. He's very laid back. He's very scholarly. I married this energy. So I immediately felt comfortable, even though I immediately noticed that he was just like my ex-husband, right? But he's an ex-husband, right? And with my ex-husband, very nice guy, very much a provider. If I wanted to stay home and that's actually one of the reasons at that moment, I did not want to just stay home and be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to work because I liked the business, my real estate investing platform. But definitely in his feminine energy, more of a sit back, wait, observe versus masculine. And so I'm dating this new guy, and I am like just falling because he's like a provider, but like that energy, that familiar energy, like there's a reason I fell in love with it, but it is also an energy that gets me in my masculine. And so I'm talking to him, and something happened, and like the plans we made couldn't happen because we couldn't go inside because there's no dine-in, and we thought there was, and then the other place we went to was an hour away. And so he calls me and he's asking me, so what do you want to do, or da 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 da. And I immediately go into my masculine mode. Okay, let's do this. And then I stop, and I'm like, you know what, you handle it. It's your date, why don't you decide where we go? And da-da-da, and it happened again where he asked me, and I almost got into doing, but I'm like, nope, it's all on you. And then I got mad, so that's my anger, and then I got resentful of him, because I'm like, you're just like my ex, and I want to break this down, because I actually said, because this is time of feeling, and I'm like, you know what, let me process this, let me go inside. So I sat with this, and I'm sitting with this, and it's literally digesting, and I'm like, okay, the anger, is it at him? And I'm like, or is it, and I'm like, okay, I'm mad that this happened, but is that fair to be angry at him because I allowed him to anger me? And then I went a step down below in the processing. I allowed him to anger me, but not only that, I allowed him, because we allow in our feminine energy, I allowed him to pull me out of pulling out of my feminine into masculine. So is it still fair to him that I did that? So I recognize the resentment that building because of my past relationship. I recognize the anger that I went out of it, but just processing in your emotions, which is honestly something in the past I did not do. We were able to get this down to, I'm angry at myself for letting him, although I was projecting my anger on him. So like, I'm like, I don't want to get there and be super angry about him because he was just being him. I got pulled out of my feminine into masculine doing. And that's not where I want to be in a relationship. I just want to sit and be and relax, listen, let him lead, and let me just, be an even high vibrational being that's just happy to go along. In this one area of life, I don't have to be masculine. I can completely be the feminine. And I'm saying this because, I was like, instead of being mad at my anger, thank you. Because you told me, and I realized over all the past, we get so mad at anger, but anger always lets you know that something ain't right and that you need to fix it. And so I was like, thank you. Because of your anger and me sitting with that emotions, I was able to process within a minute. So it didn't take like 5 minutes. It was like, just go through the process of trying to find it. And I might be more in tune with my emotions than others because I am pretty intuitive. So it might take you 2 or 3 minutes. But that simple amount of time to find out that I'm angry, but mostly at myself for letting myself be pulled out and getting into that masculine role. And that's not what I want to do. I want to relax in my feminine. And I was like, thank you. You made it very clear. And all I had to do was sit with you for 1 minute. And I found out exactly what was going on. I cleared the anger. I cleared the resentment. I was like, thank you for the resentment. Thank you for the anger. I get it. It's not necessary. I see exactly what you are alerting me to, because you can talk to your energies and allay them. And now I'm okay, because now I'm going into this with this honoring what it gave me, honoring its place, and honoring that anger, even though it's low vibrational, has always made me aware of what didn't give me joy and what did, who's not giving me joy and what isn't. And just taking that moment to be in your feminine, to sit and observe and feel, which is something we don't do anymore, even if it's just 1 minute before you react. I think it's an amazing place for me. So now I'm going into this a lot more calmer, a lot more aware, and going, I'm not letting anyone take me out. So I will make sure that I keep to my boundaries and I keep to my feminine and not let them pull me into whatever, and it's interesting because now that I have this awareness and this consciousness, I'm like, okay, so with these men who have been a bit feminized and have not been sparked, I'm going to have to be more aware and conscious. I'm going to have to completely stay and make sure that their masculine DNA is activated, because a lot of men are not activated in their masculine because of this world, and they respond to the feminine. They're reactionary. We're allowing and observing. I am not going to allow that to happen again. I'm going to stay in my being and let the action go to them and just be provided for. And so I just wanted to share that experience and how it can be a real-time processing, but that is the role of the divine feminine. And as women like me, who are very strong and masculine in our energy, which has been so successful for us, switch that off in our relationships. I know you're going to come into this if you make this journey. Now, I will say, when you do make this journey, you're absolutely mesmerizing to men. So it's like a good thing, but you also allow the space. Like I said, now I know with this particular person, I will have to be very strongly in that. And I can't force his masculine energy, but I can act in a way that sort of brings it out and continues to bring it out. So instead of being mad like I was and a little resentful that I got pulled out and that, why are you asking me versus taking care of it, I'm allowing the space for me to stay where I am and see and observe if he can continue to bring it and not let him pull me out of it. So he is forced, unless we're sitting here staring at each other, to activate that masculine energy. And I can see how that can be a benefit for him and for me in practicing, because he is so much in the feminine, even though, paying for dates, being a man, but still there's a definite energy. But like, you're seeing how you can allow, through just being with each other, you can allow processing of feelings, you can allow that opportunity for them to step into that masculinity in this world. Because not every man you meet is going to be like super alpha, right? But it's interesting if you stay conscious about your feminine, how that can allow the space to spark that, which is where we're all trying to get back to. But the men respond to the women. So if your power is not strong enough to keep in your place, well, then they're going to react to wherever you're at energetically. So I wanted to share that. It's sort of, I don't want to share everything about my dating, but I date a lot, so I'm having fun. But you just really stick out when you're really like in your divine feminine, like me. I'm not just like trying to look cute and wear a skirt. It's like really getting into like what our place and role can be in doing this, and how we allow the space for people to step up or down. I think it's just really important. I know you're going to run into it, and not everyone can just sit with their anger and try to find out where it comes from. But I'm telling you, just spend the 2 minutes to do it, and see how that anger or resentment can go back on on you versus looking at everyone else. No one else can make you happy, and it really being in this being state, you really realize I can be mad at him, but I could also understand the anger is at myself and also release that, honor it, that it gave me that insight to be able to know exactly where to go to fix whatever needs fixing, and to keep going. But it always goes back to self. And I'm just sharing this with you guys. So when I'm with my soulmate, or when I communicate with Jesus, and or my daughter, so there's three, like one spirit being and two other actual people who spark this huge feeling of love. And one second, more over a bridge. And huge feeling of love within me. So now I'm on this journey right now of I want that love for myself and to radiate from me regardless of me having a partner. So then I don't need someone else to feel love. I have the love from inside. So I'll let you guys know how that journey goes. But that's what I'm on now. So I always radiate that love, and I never need to go anywhere else for it. And I feel it when I'm around certain people who show and share, but I want it like just being a part of my essence. So I was just sharing that with you because I'm reading a lot right now and practicing and implementing and reading and practicing and implementing. I'll let you know if I figure this out, and I will, but we'll see how long it takes and what the process is and what's the easiest way to get there. So I hope that helps. Give some perspective of doing this on how to sit with the anger instead of projecting it out. See how you can own it with love and with grace and with compassion, every part of yourself, even the shadow parts. Acknowledge that it's your guidance system that told you exactly where to go if something wasn't right, and be at peace with that. Bye. Oh, I also do angelic healings, so feel free to go to my Soul Powered Life to sign up for an angelic healing session. I do them with people with back pain. I'm doing someone has a child with autism, so we're working with that. So it's any and other people, if there's business or it's emotional healing. So it's all sorts of things. The angels work through me. I am a powerful conduit because of the level of activation I've had and bringing up my spirit into it. It's just a more powerful event. And I love doing it. I love helping. When you're a healer, you want to heal everyone. I've had to learn to step back and not offer it to everyone, but it's there for any of you guys who are interested. So thank you so much, and have a good day.